Hey friends, I was just gonna do my own practice in my little basement here, but I decided I would just put it on Facebook Live, and if anybody wants to join me, then join me. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm trying to think if you want to turn on some music at your house. If you have a block, I'd suggest having one handy, but I won't cue with it, so you'll be fine if you don't have one. And this is just going to be whatever kind of I feel like doing. So it might be what you're used to, might be something totally different, and then we'll just see what happens. So I'm going to actually have us start in Malasana, so a low squat position. So feet wider than your hips, toes wider than your heels. If you can keep your heels on the ground, do. If you need to come up to your tiptoes a little bit more, that's fine. Hands to your heart, elbows at your inner thighs or your inner knees. And then try to lengthen your spine. So I know it's really easy to round, but see if you can lengthen. And then actually bring your hands, rather than heart center, bring your hands palms face in, backs of your hands face out, and think of pressing your arms open wider, broaden through the front of your collarbones. And then as you press your arms open wider, feel that stretch through your groin. Take 3 big, huge, deep breaths. So next time you inhale, fill up as big as you can, hold in fullness. Exhale, side out your mouth. Again, like that, inhale, fill up. Think of breathing all the way down into your hips, your pelvis. Hold, sip in a little more. And exhale, big sigh out your mouth. One more time, fill up. Biggest inhale you've taken all day. Hold at the top, expand, inflate, take up more space, and big sigh, let it go. All right, start to find your Ujjayi breath, and as you do so, see if you can hold this position with your legs, but just start to bring some cat-cows into your spine. So inhale, press your arms back and your chest forward, and then exhale, you can kind of round. You might bring your hands together at your heart and curl in. So just start to find Ujjayi breath in and out through your nose. If you want to move with your hands just at your heart center, that's fine. So kind of just figure out the movement with your arms that works best for you to get the fullest range of motion from your spine. And take about 2 more rounds. Find a big rounding, especially through your mid-back as you curl in. And then a big opening and a lifting of your heart as you open up. And finish the round you're on. And then forward fold, so fingertips to the ground, hips to the sky. If you're not already at the top of your mat, I didn't cue you to start there, so wherever you started, just find your way to the top of your mat. Forward fold, feet a little bit wider than your hips, but turn all 10 toes to face forward. Grab opposite elbows for ragdoll pose and let your torso sway from side to side or bob a little bit up and down. Try to bring your weight slightly forward so you're not rocking back into your heels, and see if you can reach your forearms just a little bit closer to the ground. Take 1 more big, huge breath. And then next time you breathe in, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Keep your arms hanging, let your head be heavy, and ever so slowly roll up to stand 1 vertebra at a time. Your head is the very last thing to arrive. Once your head stacks, we're going to roll back down. So chin to chest, slowly curl in, upper back, mid back, then low back. Keep a little or a big bend in your knees. Take it all the way down, and a big, huge breath at the bottom. Big inhale, and then as you exhale, slowly roll it back up. Do 1 more of those spinal roll-ups and spinal roll-downs at your own time and pace. So after you've rolled back down, stay there, back in your forward fold, no rush. And then next time you breathe in, again, find a halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Take an inhale at the top of your push-up. Strong arms, strong belly. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Baby cobra, full cobra, up dog. Take an extra breath or 2 here. And then we'll meet back in downward facing dog. All right, lots of length in your spine, big lift in your hips. Maybe it feels good to pedal out your heels, move it around a little bit. And then next time you inhale, take your right leg high. You can choose to open up your hip, bend your knee. You can choose to keep your right leg straight or your hips square. Just take a couple of breaths. Really tune in and pay attention. Are there places where you tend to compromise or collapse? So for many in this pose, they dump into their left hip. Your weight kind of shifts over to the left. See if you can keep hugging your left inner thigh in towards midline. Take one more big inhale. And then as you exhale, right knee to your nose, curl in and round your spine. Very end of your exhale, step your right foot to the top of your mat and bring your back knee down. I'm on carpet, so I have a lot of cushion already, but if you're on hard floor and you need something to go under your knee, like a pillow or a blanket, use one. You can also just double up the side of your mat. Bring your hands to your front thigh, and then start to walk your front foot forward about a couple inches. Now try to lean forward like you want to sit your right butt cheek on your right heel, but at the same time, press your right heel down and think of trying to pull your heel back and up towards your right butt cheek. Tone your low abdominals, lift your chest. If this feels like a lot, stay right here. Otherwise, reach your arms to the sky. Final option, and this is an option, bring your right forearm across your low back. Think of rolling your right shoulder back and down and pressing your forearm into your low back and then tracking it down towards your butt. Lift your chest up towards your chin and start to take your throat back. Reach your left fingertips back. Keep a tone through your low belly and keep sitting your right butt cheek closer to your right heel. Take about 3 more rounds of breath wherever you're at. Breathe into the space where you feel the most sensation, where you feel the most discomfort. Think of softening around that discomfort. Breathe into the sensation and relax into it. If you do have your right arm behind you, next time you breathe in, both arms reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground inside your right foot. Now, walk your right foot out to the width of your mat. Tuck your back toes under and lift your back knee up. Bring your left heel to the ground like you're in a warrior one position with your back leg. So your left toes are still pointing slightly forward rather than out to the left. So it's like you're in a warrior one stance. Now think of lifting your hips up really, really high, like there's a string pulling up on your sacrum, tugging towards the back right corner of the room. Walk your hands off the top left corner of your mat and try to find a down dog position with your spine. So lots of length rather than rounding. Don't put a lot of weight in your hands, just reach through your fingertips. Then lift your hips back and up and to the right. See if you can energetically pull your front heel back and the inner edge of your back foot forward. Keep breathing about 3 more breaths. So this should feel intense. Strong legs. One last round. End of your next exhale, crawl your fingertips back in closer to your body. Pivot up to the ball of your back foot, and again, bring your back knee gently down. Use that extra cushion if you need it. Now, walk your front foot even further forward and even further to the right, so it's off your mat at this point. See if you can start to lower your upper body down, but go right side down first. So if you come down to your forearms, your right forearm comes down first. I actually like to bring my right forearm down and then stay up on my left fingertips and kind of use that as leverage to press my body over to the right. If you want to roll onto the outer edge of your right foot, you're welcome to. Just keep a flex through your toes so you're protecting your knee joint. Let your left hip move closer to the ground, but in order to keep from collapsing into that left hip, that's why we're not just leaning over to the left, so it's completely different. Take about 3 more deep breaths. And if you would like, last exhalation can come out to your mouth. Come back up to your hands if you're not there already. Walk your right foot back to the center of your mat, back to midline. So frame your front foot with your hands. Lift your back knee up. Root into your right foot, standing splits. So left leg lifts as high as it will go. You can choose to keep your hips square or let that left hip open. If you do so, keep hugging in with your right inner thigh so you're not collapsing over to the right at all. Choose where you want to take this. So maybe fingertips stay on the ground, maybe right arm behind your right leg or left arm behind your right leg. Maybe you play with handstand hops or heel lifts. You've got about 2 more deep breaths. So your choice, your expression, just make sure you're breathing. One last inhale. As you exhale, left knee to your nose, so curl in and round. Stay here as you breathe in, puff up into your back body. Exhale, set your left foot down next to right, forward fold. Bring your feet about hips width distance apart if they're not already, and just kind of walk out your heels, pedal out your heels. So lift one heel and then the other. Move your hips from side to side. Find your breath if you've lost it. Next time you breathe in, heels on the ground, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step back to plank. Inhale at the top of your push-up, and slowly with control, lower down. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lift your hips, down dog. All right, from your dog pose, inhale your left leg to the sky. And you choose what you want to do. Open up your hip, keep your left leg extended or bend your left knee, maybe square off your hips, or keep your hips square, I should say. If you wanted to, you could even circle your left knee a couple times through space. See if you can really keep the length in your spine and the lift through your right sit bone. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, left knee to your nose, round and curl in, then softly step your left foot through, back knee comes down. If you need a little extra cushion, use a blanket, use a pillow, or fold over the side of your mat, hands to your front thigh. Walk your foot forward a little bit, your left foot. Start to lean forward, like you want to sit your right butt cheek on your, like you want to sit your left butt cheek on your left heel. So both hips should face directly forward, don't let your right hip open. Tone your low abdominals, lift your chest like there's a string pulling up on your sternum. As you lean your left glute towards your left heel, press down with your left heel and pull back and up. Option to reach your arms to the sky. Stay here and breathe. Final option, left forearm across your low back. Roll your left shoulder back and down. Press your forearm in and track it down. So it's like you're lengthening your low spine. Lift your chest up towards your chin and start to take your throat back. So you don't want to feel this in your low back. If you do, come back to the variation before the one you're in, or see if you can find more engagement through your front body, through your low abdominals. And big deep breaths. Can you let your hips settle just a little bit more? If you have your left arm behind you, next inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot out to the width of your mat. Keep your left toes facing forward for now. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then find that warrior one stance with your back foot. So pivot your back heel down, but your toes still face slightly forward. Imagine there's a string attached to your tailbone. It's pulling up and then tugging towards the back left corner of the room. Now start to crawl your hands off the top right corner of your yoga mat. Really lengthen your spine. So you're not rounding your back and putting all the weight in your hands. You're lifting your hips and lifting using the strength in your core, and then reaching forward and lengthening. Keep pressing down through your front heel and the inner and outer edge of your back foot. Keep breathing. See if you can reach a little further, lengthen a little bit more, lift your hips a little higher. Take a couple more breaths. End of your next exhale, crawl your hands back in, pivot up to the ball of your back foot and bring your back knee to the ground again. If you need that extra cushion, use it. All right, walk your left foot forward a couple more inches and then out to the left so it's off of your yoga mat. Spin your left toes slightly out to the left. And then slowly start to bring your upper body closer to the ground. But don't do it right side first. So if you go right side first, you're just collapsing over to the right. Think left side down first. And if you come down to your left forearm, try to keep most of your weight in your left forearm. Like I said before, I like to bring my left forearm down and then stay up on my right fingertips and kind of use that as leverage to push myself over to the left and get a deeper stretch. You can let your right hip settle towards the ground. As long as you're keeping your weight to the left, it won't collapse. Maybe roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, flex your left toes, and breathe. Take 2 more breaths, and if you want to, exhale out your mouth at any time. Lift back up to your fingertips. Bring your left foot back to midline so you're framing your left foot. Lift your back knee off the ground, tuck your back toes under, and then standing split. So right leg lifts up. Most of the weight is in your left foot, not in your hands. Your hands are just there to help with balance. Choose where you want to go. You can keep your right hip square. You can open your right hip. Just don't collapse into your outer left hip if you do that. So keep squeezing your left inner thigh in towards midline. Maybe your left arm behind your left leg. Press arm into leg, leg back into arm. Maybe you play with handstand hops. Maybe you lift your left heel off the ground as you press the ground away. So just preparing for handstand hops. Breathe. A couple more deep breaths. Find your fullest expression. Who cares what it looks like? Worry how it feels. Think about how it feels. Get everything you can out of it. Take 1 more inhale. See if you can lift your right toes just a little bit higher. Exhale, right knee to your nose. So curl in and round. Stay here. Take a huge inhalation into your low back. Exhale, set your right foot down next to left. All right. This time, heel toe your feet out so they're wider than your yoga mat. You're coming off your mat. And then toes wider than heels. Bring your hands up to the tops of your thighs and lift your chest. So you're in this wide-legged squat position now. I'm going to turn to face this way just so you can see me better. So tendency is for your knees to want to fall inward. Press into the outer edges of your feet and press your knees back behind you. See if you can sit a little bit lower. Think of wrapping your butt under rather than sticking your butt out. Tone your low abdominals, lift your chest. Bring your hands to the tops of your thighs if they're not there already. Take a big inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, twist to the left, right shoulder towards your left knee. Breathe. Press your knees open wider. Now you can stick your butt out behind you. Maybe gaze up over your left shoulder. Inhale, come through center. Wrap your butt underneath you as you lift. Exhale, other side twist. Breathe. Inhale, back to center. Once more, each side a little bit faster. Exhale, twist left. Press your knees open. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Bring your hands to your heart. Wrap your butt under you. Lengthen your spine more, sit lower. Maybe a little sway from side to side. Breathe down into your low belly, into your hips. Take 1 last round to see if you can sit even further down. End of your exhale, fingertips to the ground, hips to the sky, heel toe your feet back onto your mat, about hips width distance apart, all 10 toes face forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, bow, fold, plant your hands, step back to plank. Inhale at the top of your push-up, exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, take 1 last big inhale into your down dog. Fill up. Exhale, set your knees down gently. Bring your legs out in front of you, so sit to either side and swing your legs around. Maybe give your legs a nice little shake out for just a moment. And then keep your left leg extended. Draw your right knee towards your chest. Hug your knee in and sit up as tall as you can. Flex your left toes back. Bring your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. Hug your knee in, sit up tall. Next time you breathe in, right arm to the sky. Exhale, twist, right hand back behind you. Stay here and wrap your left arm around your right knee, or inhale, left arm to the sky. See if you can grow even longer through your spine. Exhale, left elbow outside of your right knee like a little hook. Use that as leverage to twist further. Gaze back over your right shoulder. Breathe. Each time you inhale, see if you can lift higher through the crown of your head, broaden more through your collarbones. Feel your breath move down into your low belly. Each time you exhale, twist from your center. Find that little ringing out sensation. Take about 2 more rounds. All right, very end of your next exhale, slowly unwind your upper body. Bring your hands over to your left side. And just take a little bow, round your spine, crown of your head towards the ground. Big breaths, should feel good. It's a nice counter twist. And then lift back up. Bring your right foot near the inside of your left inner thigh. It doesn't have to be exact. Bring your right hand back behind you and spread your fingers. And when you're ready, press into your right hand, lift your hips, root down through your left foot, reach your left arm back for a side body stretch, stay here, or turn your heart towards the sky for a modified wild thing. One more big inhale. If you want to join me for lion's breath on your exhale, big exhale, stick your tongue out, cross your eyes. All right, bring your sit bones to the ground, bring your legs forward, shake it out, and we'll take all that on the other side. So left knee draws in, right leg straight, flex your toes back, hug your knee in and sit up tall. So if you want to lean backwards, I highly encourage to sit your butt cheeks up on a blanket or a bolster or a pillow. All right, left foot to the outside of your right thigh, hug your knee in, and again, sit up tall. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, twist, left hand comes down behind you. Stay here, wrap your right arm around your left knee, or inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, twist further, right elbow outside of left knee. Gaze back over your left shoulder. Breathe. So really use your breath in your twists to find more space, to create more space, to ring out through your spine, through your internal organs. Try not to lean back onto your left hand. If you want to check if you're putting too much weight on your left hand, see if you can lift your left arm up and reach it back. Take 2 more rounds. And then at the very, very end of your next exhale, unwind just your upper body. Hands over to your right side. Take your little bow, round your spine, breathe into your low back. Lift your upper body, left foot, sole of your left foot towards your right inner thigh. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. Left hand comes back behind you. Spread your fingers wide, press down, lift your hips, reach your right arm back, modified side plank, or rotate your heart towards the sky, modified wild thing. Breathe. How much length, how much space can you create? One more inhale. Option to join you for lion's breath. Big exhale, stick out your tongue, cross your eyes. All right, sit bones come down. Turn to either side of your mat. So I'm going to face towards you. Wide-legged straddle position. This is another one. If you feel like you're going to fall backwards, bring something under your butt to sit on. So for example, you could take a blanket, fold it up a few times, and then you're going to sit up on top of it. So it'll give you a little head start, so you're already sitting up tall rather than leaning back. All right, flex your toes back and make sure your toes point straight up rather than back or in. I'm gonna give you some options. You can either sit up straight and focus on engaging through your quads and trying to press your thighs down. That can be where you stay. Otherwise, option, hinge at your hips, lead with your heart, find your forward fold. Something I've been working on lately, and this is quite hard, I think, so if you can't do it, no big deal, but this will really help with your mobility here, is to lean forward, press your hands down, lift your hips up, and then start to crawl forward. You have to have enough space. And then you're gonna press up and press back. So each time you make that transition, you try to keep your groin closer to the ground. So I'll take a few rounds of those. You do whatever works best for you. Make sure your breath is there. Make sure your feet are active to protect your tendons and your ligaments. Take about 3 more breaths. And then if you are folded forward, end of your next exhale, slowly start to lift up. Bring your legs to face towards the top of your mat. Give them a nice little shake out. Ease your way down onto your back. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Rock side to side. Find your breath. So we're going to keep our breath fired up for just a little bit longer, even though we're winding down. Stop your rocking and just give yourself a big squeeze. So arms around the front of your shins. Draw your nose up towards your knees, in between your knees, so you might lift your head, squeeze, 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 big breath. And then release, left foot to the ground with your knee bent, right leg to the sky, flex your toes. Supine pigeon, outer right ankle, top of your left thigh. Press your right knee forward and down. Keep your right foot flexed and active. You can stay here or lift your left foot, grab hold behind your left thigh or in front of your left shin. With your arm strength, pull in like you want to pull your legs towards your chest, but with your leg strength, resist. So as you pull in with your arms, you're pressing forward and away with your legs. That will keep you in a neutral spine position. That will also stabilize as you stretch, and it will also bring more sensitivity into your muscles, so you're actually getting a better stretch anyways. Take about 3 more deep breaths. Sometimes I like to rock a little bit from side to side. And listen carefully. If you do have your left foot lifted, release it. So left foot back to the ground, but keep your legs in this figure 4 position. Tee out your arms. Keep pressing your right knee forward and away from your body, but let your legs fall to the left side. So if you're really pressing your right knee forward, then probably, rather than the sole of your right foot to the ground, your right foot will hover above the ground. So keep pressing your right knee forward and away rather than letting it fall in towards your belly or your chest. You'll keep working the mobility in your right hip, just at a slightly different angle. Breathe. Next time you inhale, bring your legs back to center. Extend your right leg straight up towards the sky, hands behind your thigh. Extend your left leg forward and hover at about 6 inches above the ground. Take an inhale. Straighten both legs as much as you can. Exhale, draw your belly button down towards the ground. Lift your head, forehead towards your shin, nose towards your knee. Maybe you slide your hands further up your leg. Take about 2 more breaths. Pull your belly button down with your exhales. Lift higher with your inhales. And release. Full body stretch. Arms long, legs long. Pull yourself apart. Huge inhalation, lengthen, and exhale, figure 4. So right foot on the ground with your knee bent. You might extend your left leg up first and flex your toes, then outer left ankle, top of your right thigh. Stay here, press your left knee forward and down, or lift your right foot up, grab hold wherever you would like, pull in with your arms, press away with your legs, and at any time, maybe that little rock from side to side. Visualize your breath moving down into your outer left hip. into your twist. So right foot to the ground with your knee bent, tee out your arms, let your legs fall to the right. Keep pressing your left knee forward and down. So it's like your outer ankle is cemented into the top of your thigh and you're trying to get it to dry really firmly. So keep pressing your outer ankle firmly into the top of your thigh. Keep a flex in your left foot. You feel that stretch in your left hip, maybe into your left quad, or even your IT band a little bit. It just depends on where you're tight. Keep breathing into your belly. A couple more rounds. And end of your next exhale, bring your legs back up. Extend your left leg straight up towards the ceiling, right leg straight forward, hover it about 6 inches above the ground, pull your low belly down. So you don't want an arch in your spine, you want to press your back down like you're trying to imprint it. Hands behind your thigh, take an inhale, and exhale, lift. See if you can crawl your hands further up the length of your left leg, nose towards your knee, forehead towards your shin, pull your low belly down. About 2 more breaths, active feet, strong straight legs. End of your next exhale, release, full body stretch, pull yourself apart, reach, reach, reach. And happy baby to finish off your practice. And if there are any more poses, stretches, movements, anything else you want to take to finish off your own practice for you, then go ahead, give yourself a few breaths to move through those last poses. And when you're ready, start settling into your final relaxation. And I'd just like to invite you for these last few moments as you lay in Shavasana. Let your intention be to just allow. So to allow whatever comes to come, whatever goes to go, and just be the vast, wide open space that life gets to move through. So let energies move through you, let emotions move through you. Notice them. Don't try to control them. Don't try to fix them or push them away. Just be the space to hold them. So I will leave you here and I'll have my own Shavasana. You can stay for as long as you want, as much time as you have. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.